What's poppin', BSNians? It's your boy, Brother Host. Welcome to another episode of What I Wanna See. We're still workshopping the name. But basically, if I was given a big old bucket of money and I could make anything I wanted, what would I make? That's what you're about to hear. Here's one of the stories that I would do. It would be about Green Lantern, John Stewart, of course, and it's called Domino Effect. So our story begins with us only able to see John Stewart. He's sitting up high somewhere, and he says, "Thank you for coming." Off panel, we don't see who's talking, but we see the words, or we hear the words, and the response is, "No big deal, I was stopping through." Besides, because the face says, "You're paying," and the face is Virgil Hawkins. That's right, folks, we're starting off with the Green Lantern Static Shock team up. So they're catching up with each other, it's a brief catch-up moment. Virgil's giving him love advice, he's giving him pointers on the case that Virgil's working, when all of a sudden in the background, building explodes. And Static gets real serious, and he says, it's not fair. And John Stewart uses his ring to enhance his eyes, like he puts focus lenses over his eyes so he can see the building from a distance off, and he sees, okay, there's nothing serious happening right now. He's like, well, what do you mean? And Static says the Green Lanterns do not get to pick their successors. Static's like, I just don't feel good about that. And GL's like, it's really not a big deal. That's just the way the Guardians are. That's the way the Corps works. Like, it is what it is. But while this is happening, John is watching out in the distance, and he sees three figures emerge from the exploded building whose head and arms are on fire. He sighs, uses a ring to form a sniper, but the bullet is an arrow, and so he's like lining up the shot, and Static won't let up. So Static's like, come on, man, come on. If you could choose, if you could just pick one person who could be the Green Lantern after you or alongside you, but if you got to pick who the ring picked next, who would it be? You don't have anybody? So John takes aim, he looks up. It's a brief flashback to a case he worked with this Puerto Rico one time. And he says her name, Lolita. And he fires. So the arrows go through the villain's legs, but right when they connect, nailing the villains to the ground, the tail turns into a mace, knocks him out. At this point, John turns fully to Static and says, she helped me with the case once. She's one of the toughest, smartest, noblest people I know. If I had to pick anyone, it would probably be her. Static's like, thank you, man. That's it. I just want a little bit of honesty. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. At this point, the three villains who came out of the exploded building fused together into a super fire monster. Static's like, we should probably do something about that. So then we get this magnificent Static Shock Green Lantern team up action piece, and it's all Static Shock. We get all that action. At the end of it, Static goes on his way to finish his business. Green Lantern's flying through the air when all of a sudden he's ambushed in the air by Hal Jordan. John, we need to talk. I don't do a good white guy. John, we need to talk. What do you want, Hal? Hal tells him, there's a case that you gotta do. And John's like, you don't tell me what to do. So they have a whole back and forth, right? Because it's this class thing within the Corps. And Hal comes clean. And Hal's like, look, you and I both know when it comes to power, there is no differential. The only thing I have over you is I happen to be the Guardians' favorite. And John's like, no power differential? Okay. Or he'll say something like, yeah, always bet on black. Just something like a shaft line. I gotta consult Steven Jackson for that. So John asks him, what's going on? And Hal gives him the scoop. Somewhere out in the cosmos, somebody has figured out how to make synthetic Green Lantern batteries. And so they're using these synthetic batteries to make all sorts of high-powered weapons that are accessible through your will. However, because these batteries are synthetic as a power source, it is not designed to function well with your mind. And so the people who are using them, over time, go insane. So then they become these psycho creatures with these weapons of mass destruction that they are like attached to. John scoffs. Y'all can't handle a few bad men. I don't know what's happening with his accent here. And Hal reinforces the point. He's like, they become psychotic living weapons. It pushes them out of control to dangerous levels. They've already killed 5 lanterns. The weapons seem to be spreading, and there is no dedicated point of origin. The Guardians asked me to do this case. I've been working this case for 6 months, and I haven't gotten anywhere, and things are getting worse. We need you to come in. You're the only one who can do this, John. And then maybe I'll put a shaft line here, and John will have to say, go ahead and say what Daddy wants to hear. And then Hal would be like, John Stewart is the greatest Green Lantern in the Corps. And then John would say, you got that, mother... No. Hal would be like, it has to be you. And then John's eyes will narrow, and that's the end of part 1.